Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the studio. I came over here today to pack up one of my custom orders that I finally finished, and also to probably clean up this whole space a little bit, because over the course of last weekend we ended up pulling everything out of the shelves you can see back there to kind of improve them for my new market setup. So I have the biggest market I have ever signed up to coming up pretty soon, and I really wanted to give my booth a really great glow up before that. So I have been doing some improvements here and there, and I actually have a whole video in mind to take you guys along for that whole process and show you everything that I am doing to improve my booth to finally have the perfect market setup that I have been dreaming of. But right now I just need to clean up this whole space. We have the whole table completely filled with stuff, and I really need the table to work on right now because I came over here today. It's currently Tuesday. I have finished my work day for today, and I wanted to come over here to pack up one of my custom orders that I finally finished so I can send that one out tomorrow. But before that, we need to clean up this whole space. So let's do that first.
It's hard for me to be somewhere for too long. I'm always moving around, but as long as I'm on the same page as you're on, no point in slowing it down. 'Cause anywhere I'm going, if you're the one I'm holding, I could be anywhere. Long as you're beside me, tied into a right, I could be anywhere. I just need you there. Floating a boat in a bay, we could be at home in a haze. We could be driving a silver Mercedes.
Okay, so the office is looking quite a lot better now. I have everything back in the two shelves that I have now improved for my market booth. But there's one more thing I want to do. I've had this yarn order sitting over here for around a week and a half, and I never put it away. I have opened it up just to check if everything I ordered is in here, but I haven't put it away, so I thought we could do that together and finally get rid of this big box right in the middle of my studio, because I actually have another yarn order that is supposed to come in this week. So we definitely need to put away the previous one before that one comes in, because that is another big one. I needed to order one skein because I had run out of that yarn color, and I never like to pay for shipping, so I ended up purchasing yarn for around 75-ish euros to get that free shipping. So we have quite a lot more yarn coming in on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday. It is May 13th, and the new yarn is coming in on Thursday. So let's get into this yarn order and put that away. Okay, so this is the reason why I got this yarn order. I was running out of the baby pink yarn, and I got 5 skeins of that. So I'm stocked up on that because I use that for quite a lot of my plushies. Also, this color has been really popular lately, especially for turtles, but just in general, this light minty green color is super popular. So I wanted to stock up on that. I was completely out of this color, and I've made some brontosauruses in this color before, and they got picked up super quickly. So I wanted to get some more of that. I don't really use it a ton, so I only got 2 skeins of that. No, actually I got 3 skeins. I just found another one. I really stocked up on yellow because that is one of my most popular colors, or one of the colors I use the most often, mostly for chicks and bees. So I use that up quite a lot. So I got 10 skeins of that. I got some more colors I don't usually get. So some of these darker colors, they're not like super popular, but I need them for a couple of items, especially like turtles, blue penguins, purple penguins, and just like as accent colors. So I needed to stock up on those. I got 2 more skeins of my natural looking green. So I use this for mallards and my very popular natural looking turtles. They have this shell color. I got some more like very bright pink because that tends to do pretty well as the baby pink color. They actually added a new shade of pink, so of course I had to get it to try it out. This one is like a lot darker than the other pink, but I really like it. It's very vibrant. It's not really coming across on camera the way it is in real life, but I really like this one. So I bet that that will be very popular because it's another very, very bright color. I got 2 more of the medium purple. So this is like right in between this purple and the lilac. That is super popular, but any purple in general is super popular. And they finally went back in stock with this one, so I have been waiting for this one for quite a long time. So I finally grabbed 2 more skeins of that. I also grabbed 3 more skeins of cream. It's coming across as very white, but it's actually like slightly off-white cream. So I use this quite a lot for cats and also for mallards. I've used it for bears in the past, just an accent color for a lot of items. So I wanted to stock up on that because I'm currently on my last skein for this color. So I really needed to restock that one. And then finally I got 2 skeins of brown. This is for chickens only. So this is for chickens only. I use this very thick yarn for the chickens. And I recently had the brown chickens for the very first time, like right before Easter. I made some brown chickens and they were super popular. So I ended up selling out of those pretty quickly. So I really wanted to restock some brown to make some chicken. Even though chicken are usually not super popular, the ones that I made in this brown color like went super quickly. So I would really like to make a couple of those again in this brown and see how they do, and if that is the most popular color in chicken in general, or if that was just like a random one-off event where this color was super popular. So now this is the whole yarn order. So we actually got quite a lot. So let me put that whole thing away so we have a clean studio finally. Okay, so we now finally have a clean studio, and that is like something I really like to do once a week at least, to like really take a couple of minutes and clean up the whole studio, because this is a small space and it gets messy pretty quickly. So I usually try and pick up at least once a week because it makes me feel so much better to be in here when it's kind of clean. Like there's always like some corners where there's stuff laying around and all of that, but overall it feels so much better in here now. And now I wanted to show you what I've been working on this week so far, because I also wanted to pack up a custom order while I'm here. So let's actually start out with that. So I got this custom order from my last market. So this customer actually reached out to me over Instagram after my last market and asked if she could send me some pictures of her cats and if I was able to make her some custom cats. So of course I did. That is one of my most asked for custom orders, is custom cats, and they're really fun to make because they're always so different. So I made her 2 cats and they're finished now. So here they are. So this one is just a black and white kitty, and I tried to mimic the fur pattern. So this kitty is very white on the bottom and very dark on the back, except for like a little white spot in the neck area. So I really tried to mimic that for this one. And then this little kitty is mostly my classic orange kitty with a white belly patch, but it is a little different. It has bigger eyes because the real life cat has pretty big eyes. So I decided to use a little bigger of an eye size for this one. This is a 10mm eye, if it will keep focus on this one. So this is 10mm eyes, and my regular cats use 8mm eyes because I wanted to mimic the bigger eyes for this little kitty. And then also it has a black tip of the tail and some black spots on the back. And yeah, I think they turned out pretty cute. So I will actually be packing them up today because my customer has already paid for them and sent me all of the information I need for those to be sent out. So I would really like to pack them up today and send them out tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm heading into the office and that is when I can really easily drop off packages. So I will just take them into the office with me tomorrow. And then let me go over the rest of the plushies I have been working on this week so far. So first of all, I have made another brontosaurus. So I started this one on Sunday and I finished him up yesterday evening. I just had to add the little tail, so I finished him up this week already. He's really cute in this turquoise color, and I've made this one before in this color and it tends to do pretty well. All of the greens and blues do pretty well for these brontosauruses, and they have been super popular in general this year, so I'm glad that I have another one of those finished. And then next up, I was really on a cat kick lately. So I've been really motivated to make cats lately. First of all, I made the custom cats, but then I made a couple more. I think I actually finished some of those last week, but I don't really remember. So let me just show you all of the cats I made recently. So I have these 2 dark gray kitties. They're just completely dark gray, and I know that there's a cat that looks exactly like that. I don't really know what type of cat or what that type of cat is called, but I know that there are cats out there that look exactly like this. So I really like to make these. They do pretty well and they're pretty simple to make since they're only one color. So I have 2 of them made up. And then I wanted to make some different looking cats. I usually make lots of cats in kind of like this same fur pattern, except for the tip of the tail, but like in a solid color and then a white belly patch. And I wanted to make some different types of cats just so I can have a little bit of variety at my booth. So I made 2 cats with spots. So I have this one with like black and brown spots and 2 different colored ears. And then I have a completely spotted cat with 2 different tones of brown spots and a brown ear. So I think that these 2 turned out really cute, and I think that they will do pretty well because they are just like a little different than a lot of the other cats I have in my booth. And then the last thing that I made so far are little chicks. So I started those on Sunday, but I finished them up yesterday, so I just had to stuff them and put eyes in them and sew the little beak. So I prepped quite a lot of those on Sunday. So I now have 5 of those finished that we can add into the inventory. And that is one of my big goals this week. I have this big box of inventory back there, and those are all of the plushies that still need to be tagged, and I would really like to get that finished this week. I don't have a market this weekend, but then The next weekend will be my big craft fair. Like, I'm kind of nervous for that one because it's in a big city and it's 2 days. It's like a dedicated craft fair where people pay an entrance fee, and I've never done a market like that. So I really want to have as much inventory as I possibly can for that show. So I really want to get that finished. So I'm just like less stressed about all the open things that I need to do until the fair. So that is one of the big goals. But for now, since I haven't tagged all of them, I can actually add everything except the 2 custom kitties just in there to be tagged with the rest of the stuff.
Pick a movie, I'll pick you up, we'll go eat sushi. Or we'll go downtown. With our best moves we can boogie. Oh my, we both look so fly, like sweet apple pie. Yeah, they want a piece of us. My, when we drive on by, they just can't deny. Yeah, they wanna be like us. Na 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 na. We are goofy, playing tag in the jacuzzi. We'll go upstairs, with our best moves we get groovy. My, we both look so fly.
Hi friends, I'm now back at the studio. It is now Friday, so I ended up going into the office for both days, so a Wednesday and a Thursday. And then usually when I get back home, it's kind of too late for me to go into the studio and do stuff over here. I usually just take the evenings to crochet a little bit or do some admin work at home, like on the computer and stuff. So that's what I've been doing the past 2 days. I did come over to the studio and sold a couple of candles to one of my mom's friends who wanted to give them as gifts for some of her friends. So that was kind of exciting. She picked out 4 candles, so that's awesome, which also means that I probably need to prep a couple more candles over the course of the weekend. I'm looking at my candle shelf and I actually have a couple of vessels still poured, so I will just fill those up for the next market next weekend because that is a huge market. I also got my booth placement for that market and I got super lucky and got a corner booth. So that is exciting. I am currently working on the layout for the booth, but I'm actually building a completely new setup for that market using the shelves finally as I have intended ever since I got them. But I will include all of that in a whole like new booth video, so you will hear all about that pretty soon. And now I've come into the studio. I actually only have around an hour until I have to leave because I'm finally getting a haircut. It has been a long time coming, so I need to leave for that in just a little bit. But I still wanted to use all of the time I could get to work on a little bit of stuff while I'm over here. I also wrote out a to-do list of everything I want to get accomplished over the course of the weekend, and we will go into that pretty soon. But for now, before I have to leave, I think that I will actually just show you what I've been working on the past couple of days, and then we can work on completing some of those plushies that are in the bag, and also probably, if we have the time, start tagging all of the plushies that are back here because that always takes a long time and I always underestimate how much time it actually takes to tag plushies. So I want to do that pretty soon to be finished with that. But now let's first get into what I have accomplished in the past couple of days. So I finally finished the final 2 of my turtles. I've had the parts for them for such a long time, but I finally took the time to actually finish them up. So we have a blue one and a purple one here. And yeah, as I said, I made the parts for them, I believe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I finally completed those. So that is finished. And then I have a couple of works in progresses in here. So I made some more little chicks, two to be exact, because I really want to work on getting the stock for those up because they tend to do super well and I don't have a lot of them right now. So I was working on those. And then yesterday I was working on some more chubby birds. So I made 5 penguin bodies, all of them here. And we were out for family dinner last night, as we usually are on Thursdays, and I took some yarn to work on these because I have recently sold, I believe, 3 penguins, so I needed to make up some more because my stock is already dwindling and I have not been to the big market yet, so definitely some penguins were needed to be made. And I took all of the colors for the penguins, but I actually ended up running out of the black yarn, so I couldn't make any more after the 5 bodies that I had made. So I decided to go ahead and use some of the other colored yarns and make a gray little kitty. I didn't take a needle, so I couldn't finish up the body for it, but this is what it's looking like. And then actually I was working on another one as well. So this one is still missing the tail, obviously. So we still need to do a little more on that one. But 2 more little kitty bodies finished. And I actually ended up almost running out of the gray yarn. So this is all that I had left after tonight. And I took a full skein. So that is kind of crazy that we only have this little of the gray yarn left. I thought it was going to last me for longer, but I recently got 10 skeins of that, so I should still have a lot of that in stock for finishing up everything. And yeah, that was everything. I wish I had taken a little more yarn yesterday. I didn't think that I was going to crochet quite as much as I did, but usually the family dinners are the perfect way to like crochet on the side after we've eaten. We usually stay over for a little longer and like just talk and chat, and that is the perfect time to like crochet on the side and get some work done. So I'm super happy with everything that I made the past couple of days. But now I think I will start by finishing up all of these little chubby birds and hopefully the kitties as well. So we will see if I can get all of that done and move on to plushie tagging before I have to leave.
It comes and goes in the blink of an eye. Soon as I swear you've been left behind, all the colors come back so bright. Wish I could keep you in black and white, sort of like a picture in a drawer. I don't wanna look at anymore, but it's too hard to ignore that I'll never not feel like yours. Holding on to someone new's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve at midnight. Taste your lips like Napa red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. It comes and goes like the pull of a wave, here for a second and down the drain. I'm getting dizzy doing double takes. I'm overseeing you and everything, but it's too hard to ignore that I'll never not feel like yours. Oh no, holding on to someone new's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve at midnight. Taste your lips like Napa red wine. Wish I wasn't looking back on you, but I still do. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. Holding on to someone new, it's the only time I feel like I'm still holding on to you. It's like an instant rewind to New Year's Eve.
Okay friends, so I'm now back at the studio. I obviously got my hair cut and I'm honestly so happy about it. It was finally time. Like, I had been growing out my hair for such a long time, and now I finally have a fresh cut, and it feels like a weight lifted off my shoulder, quite literally, because it's so much lighter now. And yeah, I'm so happy that I finally got this done. And it's always kind of nerve-wracking. I'm not sure if you can relate with getting your hair cut, especially when it's super long, because it takes a long time to have it that way again. But this time I'm actually super happy that I made a decision to cut quite a lot of it off. So that was that, and it's actually Saturday already, so I ended up not getting back into the studio yesterday. Instead, we ended up doing some of the booth improvements yesterday. So we went to my boyfriend's shop and we were working on the shelves for the new booth for the afternoon. So I ended up not getting back into the studio. But now, Saturday, I'm back and I have quite a lot of things on my to-do list still. So I actually did quite a couple of them already. So this morning, back at home, I was designing a couple of things for my new candles. So as you know, I recently got some new molds for new candle vessels. So let me just show them to you in case you haven't seen them. So I have 3 new molds and vessels. So first of all, we have the little espresso pot where a coffee scented candle will be in. We have the flower shaped candle where I called it peonies and peaches candle will be in. It's like a very light and flowery scent. It's very clean and spring-like, so I definitely want to get those finished today. And then finally I have the rose shaped vessel that has a lid and will be rose scented as well. So those are the 3 new vessels. So I needed to design a couple of things for those. So first of all, I needed to make my price signs for them. So that is what they look like. I clipped them onto my price sign boards that my boyfriend built for me. So I made them for the new ones and I just reprinted all the old ones because they have been coming to my markets with me and I wanted some clean and fresh new signs for them. So that is the first thing that I got accomplished. And I really like these signs. They always have like a little saying on them, like what the scent actually smells like, and then the scent notes and also the prices. So I designed them and printed those so I can just clip them onto the remaining boards for the new candles. And then for the espresso pot and the flower shaped candle, I actually need some dust covers for the candles because they don't come with a lid. So I designed those this morning and print them and cut them out with my cutting machine. So here is the first dust cover, and these just go on top of the finished candle. Once it's poured, I put them on there and it looks just a little more professional. And I also got one made for the coffee scented candle. So this one is called Afternoon Cappuccino, if it will focus. So this is what it's called, and it will go on the little espresso pot. So these are the 2 new dust covers I had to make for the other ones. So all of my like regular candles, I still have enough for all of the scents left over, and this one does not need one because it has a lid. And then finally, I printed out all of the CLP labels that I need for the candles. So I already made them a little while ago, and now I finally printed them out onto these little like round stickers that I can stick just to the bottom of the candle. So I printed all of those for the new candles to have them labeled the way they need to be labeled. And now my goal is for today, I will probably not get all of this done that's on this list, but I have, as you can tell, all of the candles that I have the vessels made for already. set up here. So I really want to pour as many of them as I can possibly do today. So we have my sandalwood candle I still need to pour. I didn't get to that before what was going to be my last market. And one of my mom's friends came over the other day, as I told you, and she actually picked up some sandalwood candles. So I really want to remake those and have enough of those for next weekend's market. And then same with my After the Rain candle. This is like a mushroom shaped candle. I really want to pour those because she picked up a couple of those as well, and I didn't get to those before the last market. And then all of the new candles, so the 3 new scents I really want to pour. I have all of the little flower shaped vessels made already. And then for the other 2, I would really like to make a couple more vessels. So we will see if we get to that today, or if that will be something that I will focus on after the next market. So we will see about that. And then the other thing that I really would like to do is tag all of my plushies. So that is one thing that I really want to get accomplished today, so I can pack all of them up and kind of be up to date with all of the inventory that I can possibly take to the next market. So those are the 2 big things. In between, I would really like to pour vessels, as I said, and we will just see how much we can get done today. So let's start with the workday. Okay, so it's now a little while later. I have prepped all of my candles to be poured. So all of the vessels I could prep, I have completely prepped to make them. And then I have started tagging all of the plushies that I currently have yet to tag. And I opened my second yarn order. I didn't show that to you because you have already seen a yarn order in this video. So I just unpacked that. And I actually wanted to show you a couple of new colors I got. So my yarn supplier has some new colors in stock now, and I wanted to check some of those out that I thought would look really nice. So here's the first one. It's like a rusty red color. It looks very luxurious and I'm really liking it. I also have this, which was called Ice Blue, and it's like a nice turquoise. It's very different than the other turquoises. It's kind of more muted and I really like that. I think I will try that on some kirtles soon. And then we have a new beige, which is also kind of more muted. And I really like that one as well. So I think I got a nice haul there. And now my wax is actually completely melted. So we will pour the candles and then I will actually head back home to have like a little bit of a coffee break between the tasks. And then I will have to get my boyfriend to come to the studio to help me open the jesmonite liquid, because I cannot open that thing by myself. It's like a horrible lid. It's very like sharp on the edges, and it closes like very tightly, which is good because you don't want the liquid to dry out. But at the same time, I can't open it by myself, and I would say like I'm not super strong, but also I'm like not super weak, so it's kind of impractical actually to have a lid like that. But last time he was able to open it pretty easily, so I hope we can do that same thing this time again. But now I will pour some candles and then we will check in again later. Okay friends, so I'm now back. I took a bit of a longer break, so it's the evening already, but I have already started to pour the lids for my mushroom candles since I didn't have any of those made. And while I was at it, I also started to make some more of the rose and the espresso candles because I'm still missing quite a lot of them. I only have 2 vessels made. So we will see if I can make enough of those to then be able to pour some of the actual candles tomorrow so that I can bring them to next week's market. But we will see about that. For now, I have tagged all of the plushies. So this bin is completely empty, and my plushie bin, you can kind of see the edge of it back there, is pretty full again. So I can almost not close the lid anymore, which is a great problem to have. So that is what's going on with that. And for now, until I can demold the vessels I just poured, I will be fixing up my candles since they have hardened, but they always have little like sinkholes and are just like uneven. So I will cut the wicks and even out the tops. So that is the goal for right now. And then I will re-pour the molds that I just poured into, and yeah, we will see how much I will do that since it's the evening already. Once I get back home tonight, I think I will just hang out and crochet a little bit in the evening. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow and show you what all I got accomplished. And for now, we will be working on the candles. Hi friends, it's now Sunday. I'm back at the studio and I've been already kind of busy getting some more vessels poured. So I actually made some more of the rose shaped candle and the little espresso pot. And then while I was at it, I started making my just regular vessels in this two-toned brown and white color. So I was making a couple of these as well, and some are still drying behind me. And then I was also taking some product pictures of the refill candles I poured yesterday, because these vessels will be refillable. So these regular, the small and the big ones, are refillable. The special shaped candles like the mushrooms and stuff are not refillable. You can just use them as a tea light holder or something like that later on. But for the regular vessels, I bought some refill molds. So just the wax and the wick, and you can just put that in the vessel once the first candle is gone. And I really wanted to get some product pictures of those made so that I can hopefully start the Etsy for the candles before next weekend, before the big market. Because for that big market, I would really like for people to be able to pick up a business card and stuff and be able to reorder their candles when they run out. So I really want to get that set up. That is one of the big tasks that I really want to get accomplished before the market. And for that, I set up a little scene to take the product pictures. You can kind of see it back there still, just some like nice background for these pictures. So that has been done as well. And now I'm just waiting for these vessels to dry. I will get all of the candles that I poured yesterday ready to be packed up. So we just need to put on the little dust covers because I have already put on the CLP label. So we just need to put on the dust covers, and then I will need to get another box ready because the 2 boxes I have been using for candles are already full of candles. So my candle stock will be with the biggest for the next market, but I think that's a good thing because it's a 2-day huge craft fair. So I really want to be super prepped for that. So that is the next thing that I will do. But I also wanted to show you what I have been working on since I last checked in with you yesterday, because last night I actually got super busy and I made quite a lot of stuff because we ended up watching the Eurovision Song Contest, which is always quite something. So you definitely need something else to do in the meantime because it is certainly very interesting at times. But I was crocheting throughout the whole evening, so I was making actually quite a lot of stuff. Let me get into that. So first of all, I made some more chubby birds because, as you probably know, I'm really trying to build up my inventory for those. So I made some more little chick bodies. 4 to be exact. That is when I ran out of yellow yarn back at home. I also made some more penguins. So I made 3 more penguin bodies. And then I actually made some more penguins, but I made some like different colored penguins. I've had these before. So I made blue penguins in this two-toned blue, and I made 2 of those. And then I also made purple penguins. So I have 1 body completed, and then I ran out of the lilac color back at home. So I will need to finish that one up still. But here are some colorful penguins, and I definitely wanted to get some of those ready because they were actually kind of popular last year when I had them. I haven't been able to bring any of them to my markets this year so far, so I definitely wanted to get those finished up. And then I also made something else I've been wanting to make for a little bit. So I made some more baby octos, but in this baby pink color. So this one. I have been waiting for this one for a long time. I ran completely out of it. So I made 5 baby octos in this baby pink, and this color is very popular. So I definitely wanted to have some of those for the next market. And my big goal is to finish up all of these chubby birds today so I can add them into my inventory and tag them. That is a big point. I am going to, once I finish up all of these plushies, I will immediately tag them until the next market so that I don't have this big task to do still, and I can just take all of them that are ready just to the next market and don't have to worry about any more finishing up of plushies. And then the last thing I made, that was this morning when my boyfriend was making breakfast. I had a little bit of time and I was making some more of the strings for my wristlets. So these 2 colors are the only ones that I currently have less than 3 of. So both of these colors I only had 2 of. So I definitely wanted to work on those colors if I was making any more wristlets, and I was able to make 3 strings. So I will finish those up as well, so that now I actually have at least 3 of every single color. Some of them I even have more of, which is a great thing to have because my pegboard fits 3 of every single color like nicely, that's when it's completely stocked. So for the first time in a very long time, I will actually have a completely stocked pegboard at the next market, and that is kind of exciting. So I will actually probably start out by finishing these up, and then we will see how much of the plushies I will get done while I'm still over here, because as I said before, I really want to get, first of all, an Instagram and an Etsy shop started for the candles before next weekend's market, and I would really like to work on that today. So I have quite a lot of admin things still needing to be done. So we will see how much longer I will stay at the studio for today, but let's just start working and we will see.
Bad traffic ain't a waste of time. When you were there to hold my hand, but I've had it with the 405 since you said I'd missed my last chance. But I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? It might take some time to change your mind, but maybe everything we can make it right. This take me back in your eyes, blinking at me like a caution light. I wonder if you see it. I don't really need a single other reason to make it mine. It might take some time to change your mind. I know. I wish I'd never let you go. If I took you for a top-down drive, just you and me and an empty road, maybe I can make it cross your mind. Jump back in, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? Oh, it might take some time to change your mind. Maybe everything we can make it right. This take me back in your eyes, blinking at me like a caution light. I wonder if you see it. I don't really need a single other reason to make you mine. It might take some time to change your mind. I know. I wish I'd never let you go. Oh, I wish I'd never let you go.
Okay, friends, so I wanted to check in. I have now packed up all of the candles for next weekend's market. I am super happy with the amount of inventory I got accomplished. It's around 2,200-ish in inventory, so that is great to have. I also demolded all of the vessels I was pouring today, and then I started finishing up the wristlets until I realized that my wristlet yarn is actually back at home, so I can't really completely finish them up right now. And now I've actually decided that I will be going home because I think that I have quite a lot of admin tasks still to do, and I need to do them on my computer back at home. So that is what I will be focusing on this afternoon. I will hopefully finish up all of the plushies I showed you just earlier today, so that will hopefully get done tonight, but I will actually go ahead and end this week's studio vlog right here because all of the admin stuff is not all that interesting for you to watch. So I thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I will see you guys again next week for another video. So until then, bye!